Freedom by Design. Why I refuse to live on a clock. You're listening to the Nomad Build with Angel Lopez, where we rebuild life from the ground up. One choice, one mindset, one breakthrough at a time. Because freedom is built, not bought. Welcome back to the Nomad Build. I'm Angel Lopez, and today we're talking about something I live for. Freedom by design. Not freedom as a quote on Instagram. Freedom as your actual daily life. If you ever sat there thinking, man, there has to be more than waking up to an alarm and living on somebody else's schedule, this episode is for you. I don't come from money. I wasn't handed a passport and a trust fund. Right now, as you're listening, my daughter is in Florida, my wife is in Morocco, I've got homes in Puerto Rico, Morocco, and Spain, and my business engine is still running out of Florida. None of that happened by accident. It happened because I refused to let the default life design me. So I started designing my own. Today I want to show you how I did that, what it really costs, and the 5 pillars I use to build freedom on purpose. Not because I'm a guru, not because I'm a millionaire yet, but because this is the blueprint I'm actually living. When I say freedom, I'm not just talking about money. For me, freedom is not waking up to a damn alarm every day, not being glued to a storefront or an office I resent, having the time and mobility to say, I'm going to Puerto Rico for a few months, or I'm going back to Spain, and just go. Of course, money matters, because real freedom is when, even if you stop working for a while, you're still good. Your life doesn't collapse because you needed a season to breathe. That's the kind of freedom I'm building. Not perfection, not a fantasy, just more of my life back every single year. I've spent a lot of time in Florida. And listen, Florida is a great place to make money. If you want to hustle, start a business, grind, it's a powerful base. But everybody wants to live there. And when everybody wants something, the price goes crazy. So I looked around at the typical American dream. 30-year mortgage, locked into one place, hoping the market doesn't crash. And I said, that's not freedom for me. I wasn't interested in being house poor in a place that already feels like it's at the top of the bubble. Instead, I asked a different question. Where in the world is everyone afraid to go right now that I can see long-term value in? Because here's a principle I've seen play out in crypto, in real estate, in life. When people are greedy, be fearful. When people are fearful, be greedy. When the crowd runs away, that's where I start paying attention. Poor equals passing over opportunities repeatedly. Opportunities don't care about your feelings. They show up when they show up. The question is, are you prepared when they knock? I like to joke that poor stands for passing over opportunities repeatedly. And most people miss opportunities not because they're dumb, but because they're unprepared. So pillar 1 of freedom by design is preparation. I was working, stacking money, building skills, keeping my eyes open. So when Hurricane Maria devastated Puerto Rico and a lot of people fled, I didn't just see tragedy. I also saw opportunity. A place I loved, heavy discounts on property, and an island that I believed could rise again. Because I was prepared, I could move when most people were too scared to even look. Freedom starts long before you get on a plane. It starts when you're quietly stacking and learning while everyone else is asleep. Look, I didn't buy in Puerto Rico because it was trendy. I bought after a hurricane, when the news cycle made it look like a war zone. People were leaving, families were giving up. The narrative was, Puerto Rico is done. But I'm Puerto Rican, I know my people. I know the island had heart. So I took everything I'd been stacking and said, let me buy into my own land while everyone else is running from it. That's pillar number 2, timing. Not trying to catch every wave, just being willing to step in when most people are stepping out. Pillar number 3, vision. Seeing what it can become. My mentality has always been, I would rather buy something that's cheap now with room to grow than something that's already maxed out and feels safe. I'm not interested in paying top dollar just to say I live in a popular zip code. Puerto Rico after Maria, Morocco when I first started going, Spain once I locked my mind on it. In all those places, I didn't see what they were right then. I saw what they could become over the next 5, 10, 20 years. That's pillar number 3, vision. Most people only buy what looks sexy today. Nomads and builders buy what will look obvious to everyone else tomorrow. Pillar number 4, alignment, visualization, faith, and work. Spain is a perfect example. I've wanted a place in Spain for years, but it didn't happen overnight. For about 2 years, I was really visualizing it, seeing myself there, imagining the streets, the food, the way it would feel to have my own keys. Then for 1 year, I went hard. Paperwork, travel, searching, follow-ups, adjusting plans. And suddenly, the coincidences started lining up. A border trip to Morocco, meeting my wife there, doors in Spain opening at just the right moment. Call it destiny, call it God, call it alignment. All I know is this: when your vision, your faith, and your actions line up, opportunities start showing up with your name on them. That's pillar number 4, alignment. You're not just hustling randomly, you're moving with a clear target in your spirit. Pillar number 5, design over default. Here's the truth. My life isn't perfect. I'm still building this thing. My wife is in Morocco while we deal with visas. My daughter is in Florida going to school. I'm moving between Puerto Rico, Spain, Morocco, and Florida, keeping business and real estate plates spinning. It's not a postcard, it's work. And it's emotional. The hardest part of the nomad life is exactly that. You aren't always physically present with the people you love. I talk to my daughter every day, and she spends most summers with me, which honestly gives us deeper, uninterrupted bonding time than if we just kind of existed in the same house every single day. With my wife, it's the same. We're in that in-between stage where we're doing that boring paperwork for the exciting life we're building. So yeah, there's a cost. But here's the part I wouldn't trade. I get to live like a local in multiple places. I can switch climates, cultures, food, and views. When I land in Puerto Rico, Morocco, or Spain, I'm not a tourist, I'm home. And the biggest thing, I feel like I broke out of the script society tried to hand me. I'm not stuck in one place, one job, one storyline. I'm designing my life, not just inheriting it. That's pillar number 5, design over default. You don't drift into a life you love, you build it. So when I say the nomad build, I don't just mean traveling with a backpack and a laptop. It's 3 things. Number 1, mindset. Refusing to accept the life you secretly hate. Number 2, lifestyle. Making decisions that give you more time, mobility, and options. Number 3, movement. Because more people every year are saying, I'm not living on someone else's clock anymore. You don't need 3 passports to start. You don't need to be a millionaire. You can be a local and still live like a nomad in your spirit. Maybe your first step is paying off debt. Maybe it's starting an online side hustle. Maybe it's saving for your first property in a market everyone else is sleeping on. Maybe it's just deciding, I'm not renewing this lease in a city that drains me. I'm relocating. The point is, freedom is a blueprint, not a wish. Real quick, I have to say this. I'm telling you my story, not giving you financial advice. I'm not your advisor, your CPA, your lawyer. I'm just sharing what has worked for me, so you can take the principles and apply them to your own life with wisdom. Let me leave you with this. Freedom is not one day when I'm rich. Freedom is today's decisions stacking up in tomorrow's options. Ask yourself, what can I prepare for right now? Where might there be opportunity inside chaos that everyone else is running from? Am I buying what's popular or what has room to grow? Is my vision, faith, and action actually aligned? And most importantly, am I living by design or by default? If this episode hit you, if it lifts something up inside you, share it with one person who needs to hear that they're allowed to redesign their life. Subscribe or follow the Nomad Build so you don't miss the next episodes. And if you want more bite-sized hits of this energy, check out the shorts on my channel. That's where I drop the quick punches. This is Angel Lopez reminding you, you don't have to stay where the world puts you. You can build your life, and you can build it anywhere.